everyone. When it rains, it pours. Just yesterday or the day before, I got a gift in the mail from Ireland from a comic book buddy, and today another great comic book buddy sent me a gift in the mail from Kentucky. And my seat wants to spin this way. Bye. What's that about? I think my new house is not so even, the floors. So anyway, got another package in the mail today from the one and only solid4stbend, Shannon. And it wasn't a surprise, except it got here really quickly. He had offered, in response to one of my videos where I talked about Claw the Unconquered, he asked, and I mentioned that I was missing a few issues. He said he might have some spare reader copies to fill in. And so I said, yeah, sure, gave him my address, and he sent me this incredibly well-packed set of comics. 3 Claw the Unconquered comics plus 3 bonus comics, so to speak. He did warn me that the Claw comics are very definitely reader copies because someone went through them and took out the ads. I have one other comic like that. The one I have, it's clear that they took the ads out. They took out the pages that were pure ads and then restapled the whole comic book. I don't know if these will be like that. But as reader copies, that's fine. There's a nice note from Shannon. Oh, he has very neat writing. It says, Damien, remembered you saying you missed out on the Freedom Fighters. Enjoy the books. Best, Shannon. So that tells us what the bonus books are. But anyway, let me show what I've got. Very nice. One of the issues I was missing was issue number 1. And as things go, that's always the slightly hardest to find. Let me see. I'm going to take a look inside. So the first bunch of Claw comics were drawn by Ernie Chan or Ernie Chua. Sometimes doing his own inks, sometimes being inked by other people. Definitely better when he was doing his own inks, I think. But good either way. And then the second half, I believe, was drawn by Keith Giffen, of all people. You don't think of him as a sword and sorcery artist, but I guess in the early days he tried his hands at a lot of things. And they're all written by David Michelini, who's a writer that hasn't jumped out at me in the past, who's kind of a solid Marvel writer in my memory in the 80s. Spider-Man and Iron Man and stuff. But these Claw are really excellent, at least the 3 I've read so far. I've read now 2, 3, and 4, and had a really good time. So this one, it feels like a full issue. I see ads. It's actually in quite nice condition. So thank you very much, Shannon. Let's see if this one feels very thin. Number 6 was another one of the ones I was missing. It looks like an Ernie Chan cover, so maybe the interiors are still Ernie Chan at number 6. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. Yep, Ernie Chan being inked by himself, which is a good thing. And very few ads. I'm surprised that there aren't more ads like on the back, on pages backing other pages. Did the ads always stand free on their own? But, so very interesting. I mean, there is an ad there at the back of the last page. And there's a very manly man. Something about those pictures show off a bit of stuff. Anyway, I don't know why that caught my attention. So this is really cool. And you can't even tell that someone restapled it, but they must have to have taken those pages out. Interesting. I wonder how many people did that back in the day. Just pissed off by ads and decide to re-edit their comic book and pull out all the ad pages. And then finally he got me I think it's the last issue of Claw the Unconquered, number 12, which has a mind-bogglingly awesome Joe Kubert cover. Wow, if only Joe Kubert was the artist on Claw. But I've thought of that. If only Joe Kubert were the artist on this or that or whatever he's doing the cover on, he knocks it out of the park so often. So that must be Keith Geffen issue. Keith Geffen and Bob Layton. Neither of those artists do I equate with Sword and Sorcery, but that looks pretty good. As I first remember Geffen, he was kind of a Kirby knockoff. And I can see that a little bit here, but it seems like he'll do a good job. And then I guess the series was continued as backup stories at some point in Warlord. So I'm gonna have to figure out. I think the story won't end till I find those Warlord issues. So that's the next step on my Claw the Unconquered saga. But really a series I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying it. And then my 3 bonus issues, he sent me. Oh, oh, and I should note that most of these comics have a stamp on the back from the collection of Shannon, Richmond, Kentucky, established 1973. Nice. I don't have anything like that. Now I'm a little jealous. So he sent me issues 1, 2, and 3 of the Freedom Fighters, which I think are. I don't know if it takes place in the 1940s or not. I'll have to look since I've never read this series. But they're retro Golden Age, more obscure Golden Age heroes. I don't know if they were originally published by DC. I'm thinking not, but that DC now has ownership of. I mean, I see Dollman and Uncle Sam. I'm not sure who those other people are, but I don't think those were DC characters originally. So that's issue 1, and if that signature is EC, I wonder if the cover is by Ernie Chan. He used a bit of a different style when he wasn't doing the Sword and Sorcery. And let's see, 25-cent cover price. So this is actually before those Claw the Unconquereds. And issue 2, I can't tell right away who did that cover, but I want to say Rich Buckler maybe. Maybe Rich Buckler and Dick Giordano together, something along those lines. I thought Buckler usually signed his covers somewhere. Okay, and issue number 3, which is still attached to the cardboard. I also want to call that a Rich Buckler cover. I wonder. Not sure. I'd almost say that's Rich Buckler and Dick Giordano also. I'll have to figure it out, or maybe Shannon can tell me whether I'm right. But so this is really great. Shannon's one of those guys I've now been talking to on YouTube for years. We have, we're different collectors and we've collected different things over the years, but we also have a lot of things in common, a lot of tastes in common, like Commandy and Planet of the Apes, and a love for Joe Kubert, and all the artists that Shannon likes, I love too. I think I'm more into the modern comics than he is, and that's just a matter of where you focus your time on. But I love the Silver and Bronze Age, and Shannon is definitely someone I relate to a lot on that level. Okay, so thanks a lot, Shannon, and I hope to eventually do a video maybe where I talk more about Claw, because I've really been getting into it. And now Shannon's made it easier for me because now I own every single Claw comic, at least in his regular series. Then I'll have to figure out the Warlord, which issues of Warlord he's in. So I have a ton of Warlord issues packed away in a box somewhere, which I always meant to reread someday. So I'll talk to you all later.